Hey everyone, Michelle Mortensen here with you. Excited to bring you a new subscriber exclusive. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to the Donald Trump recording of Lesley Stahl's 60 Minutes interview of him. And we're going to go over minute by minute where we see the bias, where we see bad journalism in effect. We're going to educate everyone here on what to look out for so they can really see the truth about what goes on behind the scenes. It's time everyone got to take a look behind the curtain, and I'm the girl who's going to expose it all. All right, so let's get right to it. Let's listen to a little bit of this 60 Minutes interview, or actually the behind the scenes of the 60 Minutes interview. First thing I want you to note, Lesley Stahl in her little pre-chit chat with the president before this interview officially began kept saying, you know what, I'm going to ask you some really tough questions. Okay, let's take a listen to her first really tough question.
Everybody ready?
We're out.
Okay. Can I start?
Let's go 1 second. Close the door. Have you lift the little dog?
All right, just a little delay there. Here, let's get ready.
You're good.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm ready. So we have the pandemic. On your watch, we've had racial strife, we've had looting. Why do you want this job? Why do you want to be president again?
Because we've done a great job and it's not finished yet. And
Okay, first off, let's just stop right there. Who asks a sitting president, why do you want the job that you already have? Who asks a sitting president, hey, why are you seeking re-election? That is a ridiculous and loaded question. A, it's not a tough question at all, Lesley Stahl. It's a very easy question. It's also a stupid question. And a lot of journalists ask stupid questions. Like when the only question Joe Biden gets is what milkshake does he like right now? That's a stupid question. Asking a sitting president why he wants to be president is a pretty dumb question. But check out what the president said. It was a pretty darn good answer. Let's take a listen.
And when I finish, this country will be in a position like it hasn't been maybe ever. The economy is already roaring back, and other people aren't going to bring it back. Certainly the person that we're dealing with is not going to bring it back. They're going to raise taxes. They're going to take away your Second Amendment. They're going to do things that nobody would even believe. It's radical. There's never been anything like it. No, we are positioned like never before. We're going to have a fantastic year next year.
Let me ask you what you think your the biggest domestic priority is for you right now.
Okay, what's your biggest domestic priority? That's not a bad question. In fact, that's a great question. So we're going to give a big kudos to Lesley for getting her act together here. Maybe we'll be a little bit nicer. Maybe that was the softball question just to get things rolling, try to make things a little bit better. But let's see what he says is his answer to what's his first domestic priority.
Well, ultimately, let me, and I'll tell you, it was happening. We created the greatest economy in the history of our country, and the other side was coming in.
You know that's not true.
It is.
What the fudge? So he says we create the greatest economy in our history, and she retorts back with, that's not true. Huh. The stock market was at its highest number ever. We were seeing the lowest unemployment ever. Why wasn't it the greatest economic victory that we've seen in a long time? In fact, it was. So why is Lesley immediately clapping back with, no, it wasn't? She clapped back with, no, it wasn't. She didn't clap back with, no, it wasn't. Actually, the economy in 1952 was the best. No, she didn't have any stats to back it up. She's just immediately combative and goes, no, that's not true. That's one of my biggest problems with journalists today, is that they say stupid things like, no, that's not true, but they don't say why. Yet, when it's a story about Donald Trump, they will immediately say that it's true, even if there's no verifiable fact. I'll go back to that crazy Atlantic story. Let's be really honest there. It was a bunch of unnamed sources. It was verified numerous times from the people who were there that it wasn't said. It didn't happen the way that they alleged it went down. Yet nobody really said boo about that. So there you're wrong. Let's continue to listen.
Totally true. Best unemployment numbers, best employment numbers.
That's true.
160 million people working, highest stock market price. You wouldn't say that.
Again, those are all true. Where's the lie? Where's the lie, Lesley?
To Biden, what you just said to me. If he had it, you would never say that to Biden. We had the
totally right there, President. She would never say that to Biden. She would never say it to Obama. Heck, she wouldn't even say it to George Bush.
The best stock market price ever, and we're getting close to that price again. We had the best. Everything was the best. Our companies were doing better than they've ever done before. You cannot even...
He's 100% right with everything that he's saying right there. But Leslie Stahl just likes to be really, 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 really combative. All right, we're not going to watch every second of this interview, or this tape is going to go for, I don't know, hours. So let's skip ahead a little bit and see what's going on here.
Oh, in many ways, but they're an adversary. I think what happened was disgraceful. Should never have happened. They should never have allowed this plague to get out of China and go throughout the world. 188 countries. Should never have happened.
So
Leslie, 1 second, please.
What's wrong?
The flag is wobbling, I think, because it's under a vent, perhaps behind you. His hair's coming down.
Okay, that's pretty typical in interviews when you're high profile. When you're not high profile, nobody's fixing your hair, nobody's checking to see where the flag is. Trust me, there's been many times where I've actually gone on the air with lipstick on my teeth, and it isn't until a commercial break that somebody actually tells me about it. So that's pretty typical behind-the-scenes stuff. Let's talk about COVID a little bit. We sped up a little bit there to skip some of it, but he was basically blaming China. That's a great point that he's bringing up. This virus, whether you want to believe it or not, came from China, just like the Spanish flu came from Spain. So see, you do know where the origins of things start, and we do know, for example, that the problem did start in the country of China. I don't know why people have so many problems with it, but as we all know, they do. All right, let's pick things up here.
And this is without...
Sir, excuse me, cases are up in about 40 states.
Okay, you know why cases are up also?
Okay, here's the deal. Cases are definitely up of coronavirus. And she immediately corrected him and saying, hey, we're not turning the curve. Nope, none of that stuff is happening. No. Cases are up. You're right. Cases are up. Cases are up. But you know what's not increasing is the number of deaths. I get it. There's been 200-something thousand deaths in this country from coronavirus. We were told back in March there would be 2 to 3 million. We're at 200,000. That's less than 1% of the population. We are advancing treatment every day. Let's be honest. The president had COVID. His son had COVID. The first lady had COVID. Heck, Leslie Stahl had COVID. All of them alive and well today. Let's be very honest that one of the reasons we saw such massive deaths, particularly in this country, is all thanks to Governor Cuomo. Because Governor Cuomo, in his brilliance, decided that it was better for him, to sit there and throw seniors who were getting this in nursing homes and keeping everyone in the nursing homes. So where you have the sickest, oldest people in nursing homes were being infected one by one, and we were seeing massive deaths. My friends, that's why some of the death tolls were so high in states where they made poor decisions like this. Also, I want to remind everyone the coronavirus is nothing new. COVID-19 is a new form of the coronavirus, but the common cold, aka the coronavirus, has been around for a really long time. And yes, of course, people have always died from forms of coronavirus. Very few do, though, and very few are dying from it now. We are just putting a huge magnifying glass on this, and we are making everyone look at it every single second of every single day, and we're making mountains out of molehills. In fact, H1N1 was a far worse situation. We're just thankful that H1N1 was not as deadly. The way that H1N1 went rampant around this country was abhorrent, and that was under the Obama-Biden administration, just for those who are keeping score. Let's go back to listening.
Because we do more testing. If we didn't do testing, cases would be way down.
But why are you saying they're not up? You know, you're saying things that people
No, what I'm saying to you, Leslie, is the following. We do more testing than any country in the world by far. Second is India with 1.5 billion people. We do more testing. If we did half the testing, we'd have half the cases.
That's probably true. They would just be undocumented cases. We are testing, so we are getting more documented cases. For example, from what we've heard from the president, Barron Trump, his son, didn't really have many symptoms at all and was doing quite well with COVID. He probably wouldn't have been tested unless, well, a doctor forced him to, or he went to a doctor to get help. Because his parents had COVID, he was tested for COVID, so that's a case that came up. He's definitely not wrong, But I think it should be mentioned that cases are indeed going up. I mean, we're going into cold and flu season. Here in Las Vegas today, here on October 26th, it's very cold, very windy. People's allergies are acting up. If people go to the doctor and they get tested for COVID, they might not feel very bad, but they're going to find out, hey, they've got COVID. And let's be very clear about this. Some people have COVID and it puts them in the hospital. Other people have COVID and it's like having the sniffles. There are different layers to this disease. So yeah, cases are going up. But the big thing here is that deaths aren't. Hospitalizations may be going up slightly in some areas, but we're seeing less and less people who need ventilators, less and less people who need even special treatment. My God, people are getting treated these days with vitamin D. I mean, for COVID-19. It is not growing out of control, but the media sure wants you to think so. Let's keep listening.
If we did no testing, like many countries, we would have very few cases. Because we do so much testing, the fake news media loves to say cases are up. The fact is we've done a very, very good job.
Cases are up?
We have done.
Cases are up. Cases are up. But you know what? I'm sure if we looked at every single illness that's out there, cases of cancer are up. Cases of diabetes are up. Cases of heart disease are up. Yes, there are cases out there, but we have never been so obsessed as a media to report every single freaking case like we do right now. All right. Let's go speed things up a little bit here to see what else we can get from this interview. Leslie Stahl talking again. Let's listen. You can see right there at the president's face, he ain't happy. All right, let's listen.
We're rounding the corner, and you tell Bob Woodward that you deliberately like to downplay this.
We are rounding the corner. We're rounding the corner. We're doing well.
Okay, this whole downplaying question just irritates me to high heaven as well. Here's the deal. Everyone downplayed it. I mean, Nancy Pelosi told you to go and have dinner in Chinatown in the midst of this crisis. Biden said that we were all being xenophobic for not allowing people in from China. And then later he says, oh, if I was president, I would have done it sooner. No, you wouldn't have. One of your chief advisors, Ron Klasich, who admitted that you were disastrous in your coverage of H1N1, was downplaying this the entire time until about April. So let's just be very, 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 very clear here. A lot of people downplayed it. The majority of politicians downplayed it. News anchor after news anchor, from Anderson Cooper to George Stephanopoulos, you name them all, Cuomo, it doesn't matter. They were all downplaying it. In fact, all of America was downplaying it. But people are only pissy about it now because, oh, Bob Woodward put out a tape in September. Listen, no one gives a rat's patoot about the tape that was in March. He knew it was a big deal. Everybody knew it was a big deal. You want to know who else knew it was a freaking big deal? Dianne Feinstein, who sold a bunch of stock when she knew that it was happening. So let's just stop being holier than thou there, Leslie Stahl, and every single journalist who continues to do that.
We're doing well. We understand the disease. I saved millions of people. 2.2 million people were supposed to die. You go back and you look at your models. 2.2 million people. We saved tremendous numbers.
Exactly. We've saved tremendous lives, but no one wants to hear anything about that at all. Everybody just wants to complain. Let's keep listening.
What I'm saying is that we got hit with somebody. It's not our fault. We got hit. And we've done a good job. Not a good job. We've done a great job.
Amen. We have. When you're told at the beginning of this that there's going to be 2 million deaths and there's 200,000 deaths, you did a darn good job. The media just can't stand that. You're seeing it play out right here.
Remember that number, a very important number. 56% say they're happier now than they were 4 years ago under Biden and Obama, right? I'll put his name first. Biden and Obama. And they didn't have a pandemic, although Biden did have a big problem with H1N1.
There you go, and he's bringing that up now. Now, I'm going to start kind of speeding ahead because there's some other things I want to talk about here. First off, when Donald Trump starts talking about the collusion part and saying that, Biden and them should be, in trouble for spying on his campaign, Obama and Biden spied on his campaign, Leslie Stahl said, this is 60 Minutes. We can't report things that aren't verified. Well, you know what? There was actually quite a few congressional investigations into the alleged collusion and corruption that was happening with the Trump campaign. and Russia. There's been no verifiable truth with any of that. Yet we are seeing that the Biden and Obama administration did know a great deal about what was going on, that Hillary Clinton was behind it as well, and that it was actually the Democrats who were doing the spying and not the Republicans. The last time someone spied on a big campaign, that would be the Nixon campaign. Nixon was freaking impeached for it. But the Democrats are getting a clear pass, and the president doesn't. All right. Because we don't want to watch this whole darn interview because it's way too freaking boring, we're going to go right here to the end. Now remember, Leslie Stahl quipped that he ran out of the interview. He ran out of the interview. No, he didn't. And here's the proof.
Wow, you
I don't think so. You think she'd ask questions like this of Joe? I don't think so.
Can you characterize your supporters?
Oh, this is a good one. I didn't get to where I thought it was going to be.
I think I can. People that love our country. And people that don't want to see the stores get looted and burned down, and
True.
people that don't want to see riots,
True.
and don't want to see anarchists.
True.
Yeah, I think I can. These are people that love our country, and they don't like to see.
But you don't see.
They don't like to see policemen get shot and not be able to defend themselves. They don't like to see rioting in the middle of Fifth Avenue or in the middle of other streets in Portland or other places.
All very true. All very true.
And they like it when their president gets the endorsement of virtually every police group and, frankly, almost everybody having to do with the law.
I would agree with that. I think we're all very happy.
Encourage them. They say
Leslie.
Hillary Clinton, let me just say, Hillary Clinton deleted 33,000 emails after she got a subpoena from the United States Congress.
Why
No, that's illegal.
I know, but why?
Now, why somebody
Because
doesn't
she
do
gets
something?
I know, but why?
I
think it's an issue. To me, it's
It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. And Leslie even said, I know, but why? Nobody's going to vote on that. Oh, and that's the big problem, is that voters today really like low-hanging fruit. They really do. It has to be something that's very easy to grab onto and go, that's a problem. So it was very easy to go with Russia, Russia, Russia. He colluded with the Russians. It was very easy to go, lock her up. Very, very easy. Very, very easy message. Here in Las Vegas, we're seeing that Nicole Cannizzaro is corrupt. So they've done an entire campaign about corrupt Cannizzaro, and that's now what she's associated with. Okay, so you can see it's very easy, low-hanging fruit. We don't have to have a lot of explaining. There's not a flow chart needed. We don't need a diagram. We don't need a timeline. That's a very easy story to get out there. Sadly, everything they've thrown at the Bidens has been a just complicated story. So no one really is paying attention to it. The president's not wrong. Leslie's not wrong. Leslie's admitting here, yeah, what you said is true, but nobody really cares. We're just getting the real freaking truth here in this video, and it's pretty astounding. All right, let's see if I can get to the end where he's getting really angry. Must be a little bit more around here. Let's see.
Oh, I don't want to lock him up, but they certainly should be looked at.
Obama? You want to lock up Obama?
No, I don't want to lock him up, but he spied on my...
Are you kidding me? She's asking, do you want to lock up Obama? Do you want to lock up Biden? Jeez Louise. If you haven't caught on that this man is really an entertainer and he's a hyperbolic entertainer, then there's something seriously wrong with you. Is he great at turning a catchphrase? He sure is shooting is. Is he great at telling CNN and insulting CNN and calling them them bastards? He sure is. He is a hilarious entertainer who really knows how to work up a crowd. You know, he used to say, lock her up with Hillary Clinton. Let's look around. Hillary Clinton locked up? No, no, no. That was a phrase to let people know, hey, she's corrupt and she's done bad things. She totally has. Is she ever going to be locked up? No, she's not. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with everybody. All right, I think we're here at the end now where we can see, you know, Trump's little temper tantrum that Leslie Stahl said he had and marching out. Let's watch.
What I do say.
So what?
You don't ask Joe Biden. I saw your interview with Joe, the interview with Joe Biden.
I never did a Joe Biden.
It was a joke. The interview, 60 Minutes.
Right there. She's immediately, I never did an interview with Joe Biden. Oh, shut up. Your network did, and we all saw it. So quit acting like Joe Biden doesn't get questions like, what milkshake do you like? Because he totally does. All right, let's keep listening.
I see Joe Biden giving softball after softball. I've seen all of his interviews. He's never been asked a question that's hard.
Okay, but forget him for a minute.
No, but you start with me.
You're president.
Excuse me, Leslie, you started with me. Your first statement was, are you ready for tough questions? That's no way to talk.
It really isn't. She's right.
Leslie,
He's the president of the United States.
This is the first warning. I think we have 5 minutes until we have the vice president step in. Is that about right?
Well,
Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Someone came in and said there's about 5 minutes left until the vice president steps in. Now listen very closely to how Donald Trump responds.
I think we have enough. We have enough of
Yeah, I
that.
think we're ready for the vice president now.
Oh, look at that. I think we have enough. That's not storming off. That's not storming off. It's not like Leslie Stahl was kicked out of the White House. She didn't get to have her interview with Mike Pence. None of that drama happened. You know, as a journalist, there was a part of me that was like, I can't believe that Donald Trump is going to be releasing all this. That's a little dirty. That's not what you do to news stations. But on the other hand, I really, really, really enjoyed it because it really gave everyone like you a chance to see how these interviews actually work. And this is how they work. This is how combative they are. This is why he hates the press. Now, I'll be very honest with you. I think his war on the press does more harm to him than good. It creates a drama where they're just going after him. And you know what? The next 4 years are going to be super, 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 super tough. Just trust me on that one, okay? It's going to be pretty tough, pretty bad. But here, on the other hand, he is actually exposing some of the real problems in TV news. And I, for one, am glad he's exposing the problems in TV news. And here is why. I dedicated my life to this business. I love TV news with all my heart because I believed it was noble, because I believed that it was good, because I believed that we were telling stories, of history unfolding, and that we were holding the powerful accountable. Here's the problem. Over the years, we're no longer keeping the powerful accountable. It became entertainment. It absolutely became entertainment. It started with the Gulf War. Because for the first time ever on CNN, you could see Wolf Blitzer out there in Baghdad, and you saw the Scud missiles, and that was a very short war, 3 days, whatever, Desert Shield, Desert Storm. It was a very, very short thing, and we watched it play out on TV, and that was darn good TV. Now everyone wanted to watch CNN. Cool, cool. We got to see the Tiananmen Square incident unfold on CNN. That was pretty cool. And then all we really had to have was, OJ drive down the freeway in a Ford Bronco and to have, these idiots on the Jenny Jones show kill each other. And all of a sudden, crime TV, court TV, all of that was birthed. And everybody wanted salacious. Remember the early 2000s? I swear TV news, even Fox News, did more stories about Justin Bieber driving around drunk in a Ferrari than anything that was actually important or imperative. We turned to infotainment really, really, really quickly. And the problem that we're seeing now is that these reporters think they're so much better than everyone else, that they're agenda driven, and they think you're stupid. You're stupid. You're a union worker. You're a blue-collar worker. You're dumb. I'm college educated, so you need to listen to what I say. And Trump is bad, and socialism is good. Trump is bad, but Biden, ignore the fact that he's got dementia. He's who you need to vote for. And they're doing that with everything they can. And they're just so pissed. They are just so pissed that he dared defy them, that he didn't give them a full court press, that he didn't say, I'm going to open the doors and give you all this access. But at the end of the day, you know what? President Trump gives everyone a lot of access. He does interviews with all the major networks. He goes on with all of these people. He never says no. He gives them these opportunities to meet with people on a regular basis. He hasn't even shut the media down. He just simply fights back. And it takes cojones to fight back. And my friends, if you're watching this, that means you're a subscriber to my channel, you're a subscriber to my show, you're a subscriber for this type of content. Let me tell you, we need to all start fighting back, but you need to be armed with information, and that's why we're doing these videos, and we're going to do a whole lot more of them. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what extra types of videos you'd like to see here in the future, and we will certainly make them happen. All right, everybody, have a great day.